It's early May. I'm on the Wanakena Primitive Corridor headed towards High Falls. I'll be stopping to look at campsite 28 and 21, which are the last two campsites that I haven't seen on the Cranberry Lake 50. And then the plan is to camp at High Falls. Trying something new, taking a chance wearing mud boots. These are not hiking boots, obviously, but I expect that the trail will be completely flooded by beavers, have a lot of water in it in various places. There'll be some big mud holes. The question will be, how badly will my feet hurt after I hike all that way in these things? The other chance I'm taking is, it's the first real warm-up of spring. I could be walking into the first really big black fly hatch of the season. This is the Osewgatchie River, campsite 28, on the High Falls Loop Trail. Just a little bit west of the junction with the Sand Lake Trail. Tree that has the site marker on it, this huge old white pine, is dead. You're down a little slope, so you're hidden from view, but you're not very far off the trail here at campsite 28. There's no seating here at campsite 28. There's a boulder right next to the fire ring. The river is to your south. Sunrise will come from more or less upriver. Sunset will come from more or less downriver. It's a strong current here where the river flows past the campsite. The campsite's on a fairly sandy spit of land. Tent pads are past the fire ring. Some wetland on one side of it, and the river on the other. And a beaver dam all the way across the river, just east of campsite 28. Alright, I made it to the Sand Lake Trail. To the left there you can see there's a little bit of evidence that these were working woods. And across a big beaver dam here on the High Falls Loop Trail with water running out of the pond. So if you're on the trail headed toward High Falls, you'll come to a marker on the river that says campsite 21 with an arrow pointing across the trail. That's a little bit of a false alarm. There's really no sign of a path leading to a campsite. You need to keep going about 25 meters, something like that. It's a nice section of trail. Beavers again have it all dammed up. You can hear the water cascading over the beaver dam. We continue walking. The trail's a little rooty here. Right, so you come to the second campsite sign that says follow the markers. Well, that also doesn't have a trail right off the side leading up to the campsite. You need to keep going. Finally you come to a sign and a little dead tree there. And now you can see the beaten path off the main trail leading up towards campsite 21. If you're coming from the opposite direction, there's really no problem. Trout lilies are out. You have a box privy. Looks like the lid's been smashed off of it. It's an open campsite. You'll have a view of the night sky. It's level. It doesn't look like a great site for hammocks. I don't see a lot of roots sticking up. You got at least one big log there for a seat. Decent built up fire pit. At campsite 28, you were below the trail, behind a berm, so you're hidden from view. This campsite, you're above the trail looking down on it, so you'll be able to see anybody walking by. From this vantage point, my question is, can I get to High Falls? We're just east of campsite 21. You can see how muddy the trail is here. Good thing I got that mud boot on. Oh! So the trail to the high falls makes a little bend off to the right. Cranberry Lake 50 turns off to the left. High Falls is that way. Just off the trail on the way to the High Falls campsites. An old piece of logging equipment here. Looks like it might have been an old skidder or a crane. This was logging country. Had an engine that was self-propelled. I don't see any markings on the engine other than the block says firing order. Nothing lightweight about that. This is campsite 16 on the Osewgatchie River near High Falls. This is kind of a wet campsite. Privy is right back there. On my right side, I have an old iced tea bottle that has ridged edges, and the shock cords fit right in the ridge and hold it to the hammock strap. That's very secure, it doesn't pop out. I tried a little experiment. I got one of these tall, thin, smooth water bottles to see if that would stay in, if it'd be easier to get in and out while I was hiking. It is easier to get out. In fact, it pops out. It popped out a couple times when I was taking the pack on and off. Not really that much easier to get into the shock cords because you have to really secure it up here at the top or it'll just fall out. So that's my report on smooth versus ridged water bottles. Here's my home for the night. You do have a view of the night sky here. The trail to the lean-to runs right by the campsite, so folks will be walking through here. Site 14 on the Osewgatchie River, just upstream of High Falls. Not much to see, just a little clearing in the woods. Looks like a nice, level, flat, somewhat soft campsite for your tent pad. You're on a lot of duff, so this isn't super hard ground. I don't see roots sticking up. Sunset's going to come from that direction, more or less. You'll definitely be able to hear the folks over there in the lean-to, although you're pretty well screened through the woods. Lean-to is in that direction and you can't see it. You can hear the falls from here, even though you're a little beyond them. Fire ring's not much built up. Sunrise through that direction. You're screened by trees all the way around. This is also a portage around the falls. There is a clearing down by the river, but this is not a campsite. Tonight's dinner is Chana Masala by Backpacker's Pantry. I shouldn't eat this whole thing, but I might. That's some good stuff right there. It's a little spicy, just the right amount of spicy heat, good flavor, like it. That's good, rehydrated really well, good texture. I'm glad I brought that one. The beavers have really been working here at the southern end of the High Falls Loop, but the Muck Boots did get me through. My feet are a little sore. These are definitely not hiking boots. Black flies are just starting to come out. There are just a few buzzing around and a few on me when I was having dinner. I'm hoping if I get up and get out when it's cool in the morning, first thing, it won't be bad at all. It won't come out until the afternoon when it warms up, I hope.